people. Phonicz. Right to truth.
Yeah. Cool-headed, but I'm too deadly. All the way up to the top where I'm going, nigga, where you headed? King shit, overruled peasants. Don't lose your bitch for 2 seconds. All I gotta do is talk to her for a few seconds, and she'll be trying to give me smooth Beckett. Gooseneck, man, marijuana, get the move ready. Crew reppin' since 9th grade, high school freshman. Young nigga, I was too restless. You guessed it, no cap, it's a new era. Midnight with my last bitch and my last bitch. That's 2 X's, dos Equis, 2 N's. I was gone for a few seconds and came home.
Yo, what's good, yo? What's good? What's good out there? Welcome to Right to Truth, man. It's Phonicz. I'm back. This is a special episode, and listen, this is probably going to be like a 3 or 4 part series. So we're going to take our time and walk through this. We're not going to rush. Hope everybody is good out there. And yo, the name of this, man, is the Delusional Majority, Part 1. This is a term that I coined. This is Monday, August 7th, 2023. Nobody else has ever said this. You're hearing it right here first. And this kind of came to me as an epiphany, man. And I just basically been explaining it to people, and they be digging it. So we're gonna walk through it. I'm gonna explain it to you all. The delusional majority are people, a person or group that seem to think their particular way of living and or, let me make sure I get my words right here. Their particular way of living, or how they would like the rest of the country, us in the United States, to live as they do. So they feel like if they push a certain agenda and they put certain pressure on certain political parties or people, that they're going to get their way. And we're all going to be living the way they want us to live. And we're all going to be happily ever after. And these people are delusional. And the majority is the majority of people in these United States. And again, we're going to go through all the groups. I'm talking about Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, gay community, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians. Everybody seems to think that we're going to adopt their way of life and just everything is going to be fine after that. It's not going to be fine. Because what's going to happen to this country, and for those of you who have not paying attention, you're living under a rock, this country is headed for a civil war, man. You have a group of people that feel like their rights and their wants are being ignored. You got other groups that's just trying to push their agenda and their ideology on everybody. And if you don't want to adhere to that, then you're canceled. As Beanie Siegel said in the great movie State Property, you either going to get down or lay down. That's their philosophy. And today, I want to talk about the blacks that feel that way. And we're going to highlight several famous blacks, and we can talk about others as well. You know, black people are really winning right now. They've been really winning since George Floyd. Since his death, black people have really been winning. You know, they've lowered standards in school to get, you know, not just blacks, I'll say, Latinos too, anybody living in a poor community. They've lowered the standards now to get them in school. There's more inclusivity now with jobs, and, you know, there's certain things you can't say on jobs, and this and that, and, black athletes can speak out against their own bosses and say all kind of anti-Semitic things and retweet documentaries that are anti-Semitic and offensive to said group and get away with it and get paid millions of dollars. Black people can go into any major city and tear that shit up at the drop of a dime. Nothing happens because they're frustrated, they're angry, and they want justice. A lot of blacks have gotten out of prison, due to the whole prison industrial complex. Never mind you were selling weight. Oh, you did it to feed your family. So, yeah, we'll let you free. It wasn't right. We shouldn't have locked you up. You did break the law, but we shouldn't have locked you up. So they're winning now, and it's still not enough. I seen this gentleman, and I'll use that word loosely, on Twitter. His name is Kamu Franklin. Kamu Franklin. He's a part of Black Power Media. Look him up on YouTube. And he basically had a post. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. It's a picture. It was a picture on Twitter, which is now X. And I'm going to tell you what it says real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, he says, the role of the police. And he has pictures of police, right? Black, white, and otherwise. Slave catchers, strike breakers, class traitors. This is a delusional man. So we don't have police in our society. Now we have a lawless society. You see, these people are hypocrites. The same things they pretend, and he's a lawyer, mind you. So the same thing that they claim to believe in, they want to abolish. So in these hoods, you want to leave it up to the blacks and Hispanics to police themselves. That's just stupid. That makes no sense to me. Defund the police. And you know what's funny, people? A lot of the people that come up with these slogans and all of that, these are the so-called PhDs. Which, let me tell you something, it don't take nothing to get a PhD. Write a book and you're a PhD. Don't confuse that with MD, which is a medical doctor. There's many different disciplines where you can get a PhD. But these people aren't smart. But they think they are. Case in point, I was watching Black Power Media about a week ago or two. They had Cornel West on there. As you know, he's a philosopher, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Look him up on your own time. And he's running for president. So they got this man on there solely because he's black. And they keep asking him these stupid questions. Well, what are you going to do for the black people and this and that and the radical this and that? They sound so stupid. They're delusional. No president is going to come in and can just serve one race of people. And don't tell me Donald Trump did it, because he did not. Y'all have that same argument with Barack Obama. Oh, he didn't do nothing for black. What did you expect? What do you expect him to do? What did you expect him to do? Oh, reparations. Oh, let them all out of jail. This is delusional. This is delusional thought. And this particular class of people are part of the majority. So you get what I'm saying now? This is why they're delusional. Because they feel like if a president is their complexion, he's supposed to cater to their needs. Not the rest of America and the Americans, but just them. Who a lot of these people don't even have an allegiance to the country of their birth and their parents' birth and their grandparents' birth and so on. And it's just crazy to me. It's wild. It doesn't make sense. And these people are pushed, and they have people that support them. And mainly the people that support them, those that want handouts as well. Those that don't want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, so to speak, and to make a way in this world like everybody else has. Black people have been here since this country's inception. Why are they still behind the 8 ball? Why is that still the blame on the white power structure, the white man? Why we only see success if we're entertaining, shaking our ass or bouncing a ball or get behind a microphone? Why don't we want to do anything else? But you seem to think you're owed something. You're owed something in society where you're not contributing to it. This is what the delusional majority isn't speaking about. This is what Black Power media and these other clowns don't talk about. They don't hold their own people accountable for their demise. It's easy to blame somebody else. And that's not a man or woman. A man takes accountability for his or her actions, a woman too. They take accountability and responsibility. Nobody's discussing this. We just seen with LeBron James' school, his I Promise Academy in his hometown. Damn, a whole 8th grade class can't even pass a math test. And it's not his fault. His name is attached to it, but he's all playing basketball doing what he do. He just endorsed it and probably donates. So he gave you all the tools you need and you still can't achieve. Who's to blame for that? You people are totally delusional, man. And it's time that somebody tells you. So here we are. I'm telling you. Now, we're going to get into a little something, y'all. Well, let's discuss it, a couple of people. Let's discuss a couple of people. Let's start with these two. Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed. I've seen them in the past go at each other. It's funny because they're so hypocritical. They're both race baiters. They're both delusional. We know that. And they both claim to be for Black people. I question how both of them make their money. I would love to, I know it's from a lot of you Negroes out there, but a lot of it's from white people as well. The same people that they claim to despise, who are keeping them and their people down. It's funny though. Yo, these dudes be posting all day long. They ain't on nobody's job. Or they'll tell you, well, I'm a hustler. I do this. You're right. You damn right you're a hustler. You're a scammer too. Both of you. Umar Johnson claims to be a doctor. Claims to be opening up a school. Claims to be doing this and doing that, but all he does is run his mouth. And, he's another one. Oh, he's a Pan-Africanist. African this, Africa that. But my question is, if you're so African and that's what you relate to so much, then go live there. I don't have a problem with anybody relating to their ancestors and where they're from. I do too. I am proud to be of African descent, but I am also proud to be an American. This is the country of my birth, my parents' birth, my grandmother's birth, and her grandmother's birth. This is all I know. And ain't nobody saying my life is going to be drastically better just because I go live around people who have the same complexion as I do. So Umar pushes this whole agenda where, he's for the rights of his people and he's the new Malcolm X and all of that. And he's nothing but a race baiter and a hustler. And, it's pathetic as a man, and now I'm discussing both of them, that they're still begging a white man. What man begs for anything? If you want it, you take it. Why are you begging? Why do you feel you and black people are owed reparations? To me, it's a smack in the face to our ancestors. You know what they would say? How dare you? Everything that we went through and all the opportunities you have and you people don't even take advantage of it, now you asking the white man for money that's owed to us? Who do you think you are? And Tariq Nasheed, you know, the pretty boy want to be, you know, black revolutionary, you know, with his stupid coin term FBA, Foundational Black Americans. That's stupid as hell. And only stupid people would identify with that. You're an American. I hate to hear that in all walks of life. I hate to hear Italian American, Irish American. You can't be that. That's a nationality. If your parents come from Italy, but you was born in America, you're not Italian American. You're American. If they came from Italy and migrated here, yes, they can use those hype Italian/American if that's what they choose to use. Everybody wants to identify with something other than American, but you want to make all your money here. You want to live good here. You want to raise your kids here. Because you know it's the best country, but you still think that you're going to shit on it and get away with it. Not on Write the Truth, yo. Not on Write the Truth. We don't play that over here. I call you clowns out all day long. And these clowns, people are delusional. They think that this country is just going to pander to black people and what they want. You know what? Let me keep it 1,000 with you. I don't think they believe that. But if they can keep getting the black people out there to believe that and keep buying their stupid books and these stupid documentaries and all their little events they have and keep them living good and living high off the hog, then what do they care? It's a damn good hustle though, isn't it? Hell, Farrakhan been doing it for 70 years. It's a good hustle. When you know you're dealing with people who are not that intelligent and who are looking for any kind of hope or any kind of come up for that matter, and they'll believe anything you two idiots say. You know? Tariq Nasheed loves to use the word white supremacist. If somebody calls, oh, that's a white supremacist right there. That's a white supremacist. He doesn't even know what those words mean. Because he wouldn't keep using them so loosely. So everybody that comes on your show, if they're not a black person and they oppose what you're saying, now they're a white supremacist. He doesn't realize how stupid he sounds because he has a bunch of idiots listening to him. And Umar Johnson, who's this pro-African, like he said, he's a Garveyite. Everybody lives in the past. Nobody wants to deal with what's going on right now. Everybody wants to hold on to, you know what I'm saying, Malcolm X and all of this stuff. None of them are walking in that path. None of them have that kind of fearlessness. He was a man's man. You dudes are not. You're light in the ass at best. If shit pop off, y'all dudes are going to take y'all money and go somewhere. You're not going to be out there fighting. If this was the case, you would go to these communities where you see these young African Americans out of control and you would try to establish some order. If you was a man's man, you got the influence. I don't. But you're not doing any of that. No, because that's not your interest. Your interest is making all the money you can selling this BS that the white man has his foot on everybody's neck. And they can't get up. Never mind you can own a business if you want. Never mind you can get an education if you want. And it's sad that people keep subscribing to you dudes. It really is. And it's pathetic, man. It really is pathetic. Let's proceed, y'all. Let's proceed. You know this dude. What's his name? Leonard McKelvin, better known as Charlemagne the God. That is a stupid name. co-host with DJ Envy on the Breakfast Club. You know, he's another one. You know, you give these idiots platforms, and then you see what you get. He talks a lot of foolishness about race and all of that. I remember when Vivek Ramaswamy was on there, and he had that chick Tesla, whatever her last name is. It's irrelevant to me. You know, he was trying to go with her, and you know, yeah, but black people this and black people that, and you know what I'm saying. And then she comes out looking stupid in the end, and so does your show. You entertainers need to stick to what you know, and that's entertaining. Interview the rappers and the ratchet singers and all that other trash that comes on your show. You know nothing about politics. You think because you get to interview these people like Joe Biden and all of that, they're just using you to get the black vote. If you knew Joe Biden's history, you wouldn't even have him on your show. That's another conversation for another day. Y'all sit up here and, you know, you try to act like you're for black people and your people and this and that. We ain't your people. You're not my people. If you don't have a clear-cut allegiance to the human race, then you ain't my people. We ain't aligned just because we have the same complexion and we of the same descent. I'm a human first. And furthermore, as embarrassing as black people are being, I don't even want to identify that as that. And yo, from now on, when I go somewhere and they be like, and you got to do the paperwork, and they be like, how you want to identify? And you can say which not to. I'm not answering because I'm very ashamed. And yo, you see, I'm only posting black men because this is who I'm focusing on in this episode. These dudes are pathetic, and they're not men. Men don't beg. Men don't whine. Men are not victims. And if they are, they do something about it to change that situation. So how could you be speaking on behalf of me and my brothers? We don't whine. We don't beg. We don't blame. We go get it. That's what men do. And these people who hold your attention, a lot of you out there, you're listening to these people, and these people are delusional. And now they got you in the mix. And now you delusional. And now we got a whole bunch of delusional people out here. And hence, that's the majority of the people walking the country in the United States. They're delusional. Because they seem to think that the powers that run this country are going to just bow to them, and it's going to be all about them and never mind anybody else. How does that work? Oh, you know, ain't nobody else ever go through slavery, and there ain't nobody else ever go through. How do you know? Every race has been enslaved at one time or another. Do your homework. Get off Instagram and stop watching them dumbass YouTube documentaries and do your homework. Read some real books. Charlamagne, you write books. Do you read them? I doubt it. Doubt you even wrote it. So this is what I'm saying. Y'all use the same talking points, but they're not relevant to today. You gonna keep blaming the white man? He got to keep apologizing to you? See, the thing is, a lot of you Negroes, if you could, you would get rid of white people altogether. You think that this is just yours and F everybody else. It doesn't work like that. There's nobody going to cater to just one group of people. Stop mentioning slavery. You ain't never been enslaved. Stop talking about racism and all of that. You're living your best life, Charlamagne. What you know about that? And if you did experience racism, it's a part of growing up. It's a part of life. My daddy grew up in the 60s in the South. Segregation everywhere. He ain't never going no rants about white people, to my knowledge, not to me. And I ain't saying he had any best friends that was white. I'm saying he never blamed his life or what he did or didn't achieve on white people. He never stressed that. My mother, the same. My grandmother, may she sleep in peace, lived on this earth for 93 years, was from the South. South Carolina, your state, not too far from where you from. She never talked about white people and how they kept her down. And this. She never blamed anybody for anything. And she was able to achieve a lot. Own businesses and homes and everything at a time where women weren't even doing that. Stop being delusional, bro. Let's get to this dude. Yo, it's time to let that hairline go, bro. Yo, I was there. I was there, man. Yeah, he's another one now. Stephen A. Smith. Now that he got his little podcast, you know, he's not under the restraints of Disney somewhat now. You know, he's really running his mouth and, you know, he's talking about racism and this and that and, you know, sounding very cowardly. These are cowardly men. And they're hypocrites. Stephen A. is a millionaire many times over. His generations to come are set. Again, they use this for popularity. And they lies. Oh, well, I'm speaking for my people because I got a platform. We don't need you to speak for us. And who's these people? You need to explain because you're not speaking for me. So this is what I want these Negroes to do. They need to explain who they're speaking for. When I talk to the human race. If I'm talking about black people in particular, it's a particular reason. But just to keep going off of the tangent like this, and as privileged as Stephen A. is, the people he interviewed and he can rub shoulders with, like, don't nobody want to hear that, man. We tired of that. Y'all need new talking points. That's what you need because you're very delusional. Oh, well, you know, if we can't get the right candidate, then we just gonna hold our vote because they're gonna do what? The thing is, again, we getting back to the whole grown man, grown woman shit. Y'all have no accountability. Why are you not going back to them ghettos where you from and telling them, stop throwing trash on the ground. Stop pissing and writing in the elevators. Stop tearing up where you live. You're not telling them any of that. Stop shooting at each other in broad daylight. Stop trying to kill each other and hit innocent women and kids. You're not saying any of that. But then you want to speak and blame the white man for what? What is he to blame for? And so you have people say, well, it's systematic racism and delusional. Black people can achieve anything they want to today. And our elders made that possible. They made it possible. You go out there, you get in the streets, you want to tear up some shit, and it still solves nothing. That didn't bring George Floyd back. That didn't even change the criminal justice system. Dudes are still getting popped at. And what it really did in a very negative way, it showed it gave people now the heart to have no respect for police officers and their authority. As we saw last Friday in New York, where people are hurling things at the cops who were simply just trying to restore order. This is animal behavior. And this is not getting spoken about all the time. Nobody is saying, no, none of these people with platforms I just showed you are saying, shame on you. Why are you attacking the police? Oh, they're just the enemy off top because a cop killed George Floyd or Eric Gardner. So that one apple spoiled a whole bunch. This is crazy. And it's crazy that people allow this to get in their psyche and they going along with it. And it's even crazier that, you know, these so-called men and women are going on these platforms and they're spewing such lies and rhetoric. And many of you are not even intelligent enough to even see through it. Hence, that makes you part of the delusional majority. Because again, you're delusional if you think that you can keep police officers are human beings. So you think if you keep throwing things at them and cursing them and disrespecting them, guess what? It's going to be that one innocent person that's going to call and really need them, and either they got A, show up late or not show up at all. And it'll be for shit like y'all be saying. And the stupid slogans. And it's really sick and it's pathetic that men, I'm talking about men now. You men, you Tariq and Sheens and all of y'all do this begging and pandering. And you really believe somebody owes you something. Y'all dudes is soft. And yo, I would tell you to your face. Because it's crazy how you seem to have so much stuff to say about the white man and this and that, but you live in his world. You didn't build no house by hand. You didn't pay cash. You went to the bank and got it financed. You didn't build a car you driving. You didn't even design it. So until you can do those things, you need to fall back, all of y'all. None of y'all have the tools to build a society, your utopia that you want for your people. So shut the F up. You can't, you're not doing anything. You're not doing that. Don't tell me about the money you control. I don't want to hear none of that. You're not getting to the hardcore issues of what's going on with black people in these ghettos. You can throw all the excuses around you want. Oh, they don't have no boys and girls club no more. And they took the money out the public schools and this and that. So what? The only thing that can calm you down is playing sports. You're that much of an animal. You have to be tamed and put in an organized environment to act like a human being. Or we have to cut a beat on for you to rap so you can calm down. Shameful. Let me tell you about this clown right here. This is Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock is host of Fearless with Jason Whitlock, which comes on Glenn Beck's channel, The Blaze, and it's also on YouTube. I would encourage you to check it out. This show has been on, I think, roughly maybe a year and a half, something like that. And I've watched several episodes. Jason Whitlock, he's a journalist by trade and worked for the Kansas City Star. And I used to see him on ESPN back in the day. And then he was on Fox Sports 1 with his show, Speak for Yourself. Now he's came out and he's this born again Christian and Christianity is the way and the Bible's the answer and real men and and he never claims a political affiliation. You know what I'm saying? But it's clearly he's Republican / conservative. He never claims. He always says, "Well, I ain't never voting this and that." But that's who he rides with. That's who he rides. So yes, he's the evangelical Republican conservative, so he's attached to a delusional majority. And this is what he pushes on his show. And everybody who he has on the show, his little contributors, nobody ever pushes back. Everybody agrees. I hate those kind of shows. Because we can't just always agree on everything. They don't even have it's not even a spirited debate where they're going back and forth just a little bit. Nobody's a little hot, angry, none of that. It's just everybody agrees. So he has all these so-called Christians come on there and, Christianity is the way and, the Bible and, that's just the way to everything. This is another group of people who are trying to convert the masses to their beliefs because their beliefs are right. Nobody else's are. And we're the ones with all the answers and this is how it's supposed to be. And you know what? If you don't believe in this, then you're damned. Delusional. You got a whole generation coming up now. They don't give a F about religion, man. They'll tell you, I'm spiritual, I believe in God. They don't give a F about religion. That's that old folk shit. That don't work no more. Sorry, Whitlock, it don't work no more. And you're an old man and you'll be dying soon, and all of this is going to die with you because that's not enough anymore. It's not enough. And you make a lot of good talking points in your show, but you always turn me off when you start with this whole Christian thing, and you're such and such, so you're more Christian than everybody else. How you more Christian than everybody else and you're living such a righteous life? You're a 50-some-year-old man, you have no wife and no kids. In my hood, we would call you sus, short for suspect. But what life are you really living? Because I thought Christians believe in being fruitful and multiplying. You claim to be this devout Christian, but you have no wife and no children. That's crazy to me. So see, these people come in front of us and they talking all of that, but again, they're hypocrites. They're not living the life that they're promoting, and they're trying to convert you to. And this is why I want you to be wary of these people. Don't become part of the delusional majority. If you are part of the delusional majority, get out of it as soon as you can. You have to learn how to be a free thinker and think for yourself, and you don't have to go along with what everybody else is going along with. Whitlock show, that's why he loves where he's at. He can push his ideology, and he has these others come on. Like I said, they all share the same ideology, and yeah, we're Christians, and we don't drink, we don't smoke, and we don't do this, and we don't do that. Let's not confuse something, and that's something else where you know that you're dealing with people who are not really spiritually inclined. Smoking and drinking destroys the body. It has nothing to do with the soul. That's what smoke, it harms the physical. It has nothing to do with the soul. It's some great people that drink and smoke. And I've always lived by this as everybody has a vice. Whether it's public or private, everybody has a vice. Like to see what's in your phone, Mr. Whitlock, or your laptop. So I don't want y'all to keep falling victim to this. These people with their agenda, and they all have an agenda. They try to speak against, the power structure and their agenda. But no, all of these shows with these people, and the ones that don't even have shows, the individuals who are posting these these YouTube clips and all of that, they're trying to convert you to their way of thinking. Number one, it brings them income. They all are financially motivated. Charlamagne the God, Stephen A., Umar, and Nasheed, and Whitlock. It's all financial first. Because it ain't like they on the street corner, pushing their message. They ain't I don't see them on nobody's street corner. They ain't in front of no Walmart, with a loudspeaker, or they ain't doing none of that. Umar says he's a doctor, but all you do is see him running the damn streets. That's all you see him doing. And see, another thing with these hustlers, man, and everybody I just showed you, the one thing that they all have in common is they speak well. See, that's always been the thing with the Negro since the beginning of time. If you can speak well, you're going to get them. Because the audience thinks that you know what you're talking about. The audience is too lazy to go and do research, so they're not going to do that. They're going to take your word as bond. I mean, come on, man. We've seen Farrakhan do this for almost 70 years. He's been one of the most successful at it. Why do you think he's living so long? What care in the world has that man ever had? He ain't had to work nobody's job. All he had to do was stand behind that rostrum every now and then and tell you Negroes something good, and you clapped and cheered, and them little bowls went around, and you dropped your dollars in there. And when the event was over, they took it to the back, they counted it, and it went in his bank account. Because that's what believers do. So see, you have a whole new generation, they ain't with all of that. And you know what? I hope I live long enough, and I'll be very happy to see the churches die out, the mosques die out, the synagogues die out. Let them all die out. Because what we've learned and what the children have learned is that religion is all about control. Has nothing to do with God. It's very political, just like every other powerful entity in this world. And it's used as a form of manipulation. So again, Whitlock, you know, you can, to your followers and all of that, and that's what they are, they're followers. They're not subscribed, they're followers. And those that love that message, more power to you. But again, y'all are a part of the delusional majority. And your group will be a big reason why this country will be split in half or thirds. And that's a fact. When the war pops off, and it's going to pop off, because everybody's not going to get along with everything. Then what's going to happen? What are we going to say then? I know what I'm going to say. Told you so. That's exactly what I'm going to say. So people are delusional. They think that it's going to be their way in the end if they could just hold out, you know. Sad and pathetic thought process, man. And yo, like, subscribe, share, man. Yo, Cash App is $Phonicz, Phonicz. This was a good episode. I have more parts coming. They won't be in order. Just telling you that. I don't know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But I just really need y'all to like and share this message, man. And let's get it out here. And let's move away from that majority who wants to be delusional. Let's be the free thinkers. Let's be the ones that be like, you know what, we're going to be the innovators. We're going to be the ones to think for ourselves and not go along with a group. Because it's not going to end well. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, man. It's Right the Truth, Phonicz, yo. I'm going to holler back at y'all.